the GIGN. Now, I guarantee 90% of you watching this know who these guys are. But let's educate the remaining 10%. They are the, and forgive my pronunciation, Groupe d'Intervention de la Gendarmerie Nationale, which roughly translates to the National Gendarmerie Intervention Group? I cannot pronounce that word. I'm very sorry if there are any French watching this. Now, they are an elite police unit founded in 1974 in the wake of the 1972 Munich massacre. They have a current roster of approximately 387 active operators. They're deployed mainly on protection, hostage rescue, and counter-terrorism operations. They have been deployed on over 1,800 operations, as well as rescuing over 650 hostages to date, making them one of the most experienced groups on the planet. Warning: the following information contains YouTube censorship silliness. Their most legendary operation was the hijacking of Air France Flight 8969 in 1994, in which some naughty boys had a plan to make the aircraft go bang over the Eiffel Tower. Disguised as Algerian presidential protection, they boarded the plane and proceeded to take the crew and passengers hostage. International politics ensued, resulting in the Spanish authorities allowing a unit of GIGN to be deployed to Mallorca, which was as close as they could allow them without being accused of interfering. Later the following day, the naughty boys used their captors as leverage to get the plane airborne, planning a refuel stop at, and forgive my pronunciation, Marseille, where the GIGN were waiting, 30 men strong with additional sniper team support. Upon landing, there was a 12-hour period in which GIGN forces ascertained the number of naughty boys, learnt the layout of the plane, and planned to wait for darkness to fall. However, their assault was spurred to action when said naughty boys decided to start opening fire on the control tower through the window of the cockpit. The ensuing raid lasted approximately 20 minutes, with the last remaining hijacker managing to hold off GIGN forces until eventually running out of ammunition. GIGN casualties totaled only 1 serious injury and 8 light injuries. The unit still practices the trust shot, where an existing team member wears a plate of body armour with a clay pigeon over their centre of mass, and the newly initiated GIGN operator shoots said clay pigeon from 15 yards. The footage is widely available online, and the symbolism and meaning behind this tradition is one of pure mutual trust. Trust in each other, trust in their training. They will not miss, and they both know it. And that is why they never flinch. Translating this legendary unit into an outfit for Breakpoint was challenging, to say the least. The lack of options really took a toll on this one, which is somewhat surprising as Ubisoft themselves are French. You would think that they would do the home team justice. Sadly, this just isn't the case. Though, having played with the outfit for a few hours, I really do enjoy it. It really does give you that feeling of satisfying internal roleplay that I think we all like in our outfits. Let me know in the comments down below if you know what I mean by that, or is it just me going crazy? Anyway, it would be nice if we could get a colour wheel option for our camos, as the blue that they provide us is just a bit too bright for it to be too realistic, but alas, we make do. Now, with that said, let's break it down. Alright, let's start off with the head slot. We are, of course, using the riot helm, obviously in solid black. Sadly, not really any options. as it is the only one that has this ballistic visor in the game. Sadly enough, it cannot be toggled up or down. That would be a really cool option to give us, Ubi, if you're ever looking to improve this game. Things like that, they're kind of cool. So yeah, sadly, if you don't have this, I can't remember how you unlock it, but that is kind of your only option. Moving over to the vest, we are using the wolf armor in solid black. I actually had a lot of difficulty when it came to the vest on this one. Honestly, there is absolutely nothing in-game that even remotely resembles something even half realistic, unfortunately. So I have had to go ahead and use a little bit of creative licensing here. I was quite torn between the Black Hawk Strike shoulder pads, as some of them do use more heavy vests, but in the end I went for the wolf armor. It's just a little bit less bulky, which is kind of what I wanted anyway. However, later on you will see some alternative options that I've made using the AIs. Moving on to the glove slot, we are using the Wolf Extreme Cold Weather Mittens. Reason we've gone for these ones is in every picture I could find of a GIGN unit, they all wore fingertipless gloves, so quite limiting in our options here. And the Wolf Extreme are probably the least crazy looking, in my opinion. So that's why we've gone for those. Those are, of course, in solid black. And with that said, let's move on to the pants, which are once again my favourites, the Hills pants. These are as well in solid blue for fairly obvious reasons there. I did try and find alternatives. Because if you look here, obviously the thigh pads are coloured by your vest colour. However, that doesn't carry over to your knee pads, which are now blue as well. Nothing we can do about that, sadly. If you don't like these, the only alternative I could find were the Fix-It pants. When coloured in solid blue, they look fairly decent as well. However, you'll have this blue bag attached to your hip, which I find a little too annoying. If that was black, I'd be happy, but sadly it isn't, so Hills pants it is. Moving over to the boots, we are using the reinforced boots in none and or slash black. As you can tell, the difference is barely noticeable, so not a major problem. Moving on over to accessories, we of course have no headset, no glasses, and no backpack. We wanted to keep him slim. GIGN tend to be geared for the operation at hand. No headset, just because it doesn't actually exist. It doesn't come through the helmet in any way. For the top, we've gone for the rolled up sleeve shirt. This is actually the hardest thing to make in the entire outfit, was the choice of tops, because absolutely nothing actually worked. So I have settled on the rolled up sleeves or the sports jacket, as I will hopefully show you in the alternative outfits using the AI. Really, it kind of baffled me. There's absolutely nothing that matches the kind of fabric that I saw in the source material. So I spent a long time trying to get this to look good. Sadly as well, the colour of blue that they give us is quite bright compared to the ones that the GIGN units tend to use themselves. Maybe this is just my settings, honestly, but yeah, it took a long while. So I settled on this, of course. Some people don't like the rolled up sleeve look, so I would then rotate down to the sports jacket there. Alright, moving on over to the face mask. It is the UA Heat Gear Tactical Balaclava, once again a store-bought item. This will be in solid black, of course. Now, sadly, if you do not want to spend money, you don't really have an option. None of the vanilla options really look good. If you take the Sniper Balaclava here, for example, it leaves your throat kind of exposed. You look a little bit stupid. Overall, yeah, kind of annoying. Outside of that, another good item is the Stealth Balaclava. That would also fit the bill. They have I have seen them wearing quite loose balaclavas in the source material, so that is entirely up to you. Obviously, patch can be whatever. Night vision goggles, they don't exist on this outfit, so it does not matter. I really should be using the French flag for this, really, but well, there you go. Knife, of course, whatever you feel like. Alright, let's have a look at the alternatives. So here you can see I made a long sleeve and stealth balaclava variation. Not much else to be said here. I just wanted to show you guys what it would look like if you wanted your sleeves rolled down. For Fury, I've gone for the open face kind of vibe, so as if they weren't wearing a balaclava at all. The only difference there is I obviously put on a scarf, or yeah, probably it was the scarf, coloured it blue. Lets you see your character's face if you have some weird fetish. Alright, moving over to Vasilis. This is more of the heavy gunner or the breacher kind of style. Only difference there being, of course, I'm wearing the Strike Hawk vest. Also in long sleeve. There we go. Alright, so there are a couple variations for you if you want to have a go. Oh yeah, I changed the top on this one to the punk jacket in solid blue. You do obviously have this bit on the shoulders to ignore, but it does, I think, make your character look a little bit more bulky, which is kind of what you want when it comes to a breacher. Alright guys, with that said, that concludes our GIGN unit video. I hope you guys have had a fantastic holiday period. Good New Year's. Just remember to stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.